Welcome to our Bestest podcast with your host. Shut up. With our hosts, Kelvin Mooney and Brian Keeler. Not in that order. I'm Brian.
Stop. The joke is dead, and so am I.
That's good.
Oh. Well, we're here
it's good.
again.
It's a one-man podcast now.
We may have skipped a week, but that was we had reasons. It was okay.
We had reasons.
And don't worry about that vlog that we said we'd do.
It did not involve the CIA.
Oh yeah, that's
we were
right.
Top secret.
Secret.
They said we can't tell them about secret Russian mission.
You know what's
they
even more
secret
than the CIA? The development of the next Madea movie. But speaking of the next Madea movie, we saw this Madea movie, which is Boo 2.
Disclaimer, we only saw this because it was cheap.
Yeah, we
knew it would be bad.
We saw it on Tuesday, and it's a deal on Tuesdays.
There's no way in hell we would pay the full price for this movie.
I don't even know if I wanted to pay the $5 when I was even like a quarter of the way through the film. It was fucking... Oh. Boo 2 and Madea Halloween can only be best described as feces. As diarrhea dick waffles. As some gamer that might be a little bit irate might say. But God, that movie was so bad though.
Now I want to say this, and I was thinking about this earlier when we're like, yeah, we're gonna see this, and then hey, we got a podcast talking point. Pay $5 and you get a free podcast talking point.
It's not free. You paid $5 for it.
Oh, we paid $5 for the movie, and we got a free
podcast talking point. Okay,
it's like we walked into the theater and they're like, talk about it on your podcast. We don't know who you are because no one cares about you. But if you do make a podcast, talk about it. And we're like, okay.
It was the rule. I feel like the best thing was just going up to the person and just be like, one ticket for Boo 2.
Just to also note, we are two white guys.
We
were not the intended audience for that movie. Let's just put it that way.
But to be fair, there were small children there too.
There were really small children.
And I felt bad the very second I saw them walk in. I was like, oh no, honey, no. No.
Me knowing that it was PG-13, I'm like, well, it can't be at least that bad for them. No, apparently you can get away with a lot in a PG-13, like a lot more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. Want to start with your notes?
I was gonna say? The one thing, in general, me and Kelvin are kind of opposites. I'm more of an optimist. I have a more optimistic mindset. Kelvin, on the other hand, well,
I have a good boys set.
You're somewhat
I'd say I'm more of a realist.
I was gonna say, I'm more of the optimistic type person to where, yeah.
I'm a realism.
When I go over my notes,
Your cat's staring at me still.
When I go over my notes, that's kind of the point of view where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna start with one of my points. I wrote them down
because I'm like... I see a bunch of scribbles at the bottom, and I just imagine that by the end of it, you're just fuming.
No,
like you're just fucking Madea.
No, my first point was, I mean, obviously, as we know, it was bad. Almost everything about it was bad.
I really like Gatorade.
And, you know, as we go through, we have this really dumb plot line with the teenagers, and they're like, oh, I'm 18, I can go with you to party. Oh, we went to a spooky
And then the guy goes,
oh,
you're 18?
And then the acting through all of them was terrible.
I think the only person that had, like, decent acting was the main girl. Like, I felt like she at least acted like a Disney live-action movie level, while everyone else was acting like high school, let's put something together movie.
Yeah, yeah, it was just... But the problem was her character was really bad, too.
Yeah, no, it was fucking terrible and confusing.
I'm a real brat. And I was like, what?
For one, real brat. For two, apparently really, really wanting sex. Because at one point, she's just like...
Really wanting it.
At one point, she's just like, I want you. And it's like, take your fucking clothes out. It's like, what the hell's going on?
They didn't say the F word.
They didn't.
It's PG-13.
They didn't ever, actually, I don't think.
No, I don't think...
I think there was one part where the old... Okay, so one thing that I noticed that was really weird, because Brian was not looking at the screen like half the time, is that they dub over some words. Like the old guy was saying something, I don't remember, and it was obvious as Mouse said fuck, but then he went nut. Right?
Oh yeah,
they did that a couple other times. I guess, I don't know, it was really strange that they did that, but I guess they wanted that solid PG-13.
I was gonna say, in a way, it makes sense. They got away with the N-word. I didn't know you could say that.
Like 3 fucking times.
I didn't know you could say that in PG-13 and be like,
didn't know either.
It was fine. You know, it doesn't matter about the context. I didn't know you could say that in that environment. There were children. And I'm not talking like 13, whatever.
We're talking
it's
like
real world.
8.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh.
Little girls in little dresses with their parents, and they all go.
with their parents, too.
And
that would have just been the...
And, like, they walk by, and I'm just like, oh, no.
And then constantly we had the grandpa, I don't know.
character, the
making,
Tyler
like,
Perry 3rd edition.
Like, hey, I was a pimp. All these hoes
I was a pimp,
mine.
and
it's like,
bitches and hoes, man. Fucking dude. It's like, okay, you're a fun character.
It's like,
your entire character is penis. Got it. Noted.
It's like, you can do that with a character.
They can make that, but
do it
funny.
Well,
but it was just like, statement. Huh. And then he waits, and then everybody... That's the thing. That was the most mind-boggling thing about that entire experience, is that everybody laughed.
Yeah, this brings me to my next point I had written down. Wrong type of audience. This movie was not made for us, too.
We know.
Just in general, and we knew that going into it.
We know too much.
But looking at the audience that was there and everything, it was pretty clear that we were not the intended audience.
Yeah, it was.
And
it was
judging by how much everybody else laughed at that movie, one guy was...
there was like, one person that just, like, scream laughing.
He was losing
He was
it.
fucking going nuts, and we were just looking at each other like... We were laughing more at him than the actual thing.
Yeah,
like,
we actually looked at each other and started laughing at him during that, and I was like...
I don't even think it was a funny part of the movie. I don't even know what part, but I think it was one of the Madea sections when they were just in the house. That's the thing, too, is that the pacing was fucking whack.
Yeah.
Like, it'd go from... Alright, my daughter hates me and shit. And then he walks into the room with Madea and
there's like
crew.
a 10-15 minute
and then
scene
they're just
of Madea
talking
and
back and
crew.
forth for like,
and it's like
10 minutes for no reason. It won't even talk about the thing, and if it does, it's just gonna be people reciting the same thing over and over. It would be like, girl, she wanted a car. Why didn't she get no car? And then it'll be like,
you bought her a pair of headphones. Bought a pair of headphones. And then she got a car.
Yeah, it's for fucking bitches. Get a car, man. Get a car. Fuck him. And then the other one would be like,
for my car.
Like, and it's like, stop. Continue with the shit plot, please.
Now this brings me to my next two ones, and you may not feel this way.
Yeah.
Felt there was potential. Now, I'm not talking about with this other stuff with the teenager and like that whole dumb side plot.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I gave her a birthday party. Tyler Perry's characters, when he's playing himself.
One of his characters.
Yeah, and he's like, ooh, I gave her a birthday party, and I'm this complete fucking clueless dad who's oblivious to everything. I invited your friends from elementary school. And it's like, I gave you a birthday party. There's a petting zoo outside. You're 18, and I bought you a pair of headphones. And it's just like, oh, God. And then you have on the opposite side of the spectrum this mother character who literally does not give a shit.
Period.
Period.
It's like, she's just like, yeah, you get a car.
It's
and
like,
then it's very, very clear that the
license.
dad's suspicions are correct.
Oh.
This woman cannot drive. And it's made apparent on purpose.
Oh.
She's like fucking heavily swerving in the street. It's bad. Like,
yeah.
The whole point is that the daddy is right and the lady's wrong.
When I say there was potential, I'm talking about almost like pretty much entirely cutting everything that didn't have to do. And I'm talking about those group of the 4 old people. You know?
Yeah.
Kind of the...
You mean the
you could do
character?
something interesting with like... all 4 of that, if, you know, he wasn't making all the sex jokes all the time. And that,
I feel like it'd be fun to just have a ragtag group of 4 old people.
Yeah, right?
That'd be fun.
Like,
Maybe that's what the older movies were at one point.
And it's like, I wouldn't mind the character
I would love that.
of...
That'd be fun as fuck.
It's like, I wouldn't mind the character of Madea necessarily. Yeah. It was just kind of like the real... Everybody else that really added to the you know, like the real high-pitched one, the grandpa.
Oh my god! That's my favorite one because I want to fucking slit her throat every single time she speaks or breathes.
It's like, I wouldn't mind the character of Madea, but just everybody else around her was garbage.
I feel like the problem is 90% of that movie was probably just on the spot.
Yeah.
They were just like coming up with lines and be like, "Hey, I said this thing about pimp," and then they'd wait. and then people would laugh, and they'd be like, all right, that's a good take, next. And
it's like, if you actually could write if you could write it between the four of them really
tightly,
and like kind of kept the same,
good.
Yeah, like
because the character dynamic in theory works, except for the fucking purple one. I don't know what her gimmick is. She feels like an outlier at this point, because I don't know what her gimmick is other than fourth black one.
Yeah. But I feel like there was still, like, if you actually took the time to write it, you could actually turn it into something between those four characters.
Yeah,
you know what
definitely.
I mean? And you just had to get rid of all the stupid stuff between the teenager, the party, and everything. But you could actually do something with those four. And like I said, I don't have a problem with the character of Madea. It's just the movies.
It's just that they aren't trying at all, and it's very blatant.
Right. If you were actually trying, I'd be like, okay, I wouldn't mind this, but you can just tell they weren't trying.
Yeah, I feel like if they worked hard and tried to make a quality Madea movie,
it would be
really good. Like if it was just Madea and the other three, I feel like it'd have like a Fat Albert sort of like ragtag group vibe.
Yeah, and
that would be fucking cool.
I really enjoy that. And Medea's like a
headmaster, and it'd be sweet. Yeah. Like, I'd like that dynamic. That would be an interesting
Like I said, I was just sitting there the whole movie just thinking, it's like, that would be...
They could actually do something fun with these characters.
The scenes with those four were...
At least entertaining.
Yeah, at least entertaining. You know, they're still bad, but they were at least entertaining enough, more than the other...
You could actually listen to them and be like, this isn't bland.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's bland, but it's not like, wow, nothing... Well, okay... Once again, yeah, nothing was happening during most of those scenes, but once they actually got in the car and left, that's when those scenes were like, I want that again. Can we go back to Madea, pretty please?
And when they're...
Because when actual things were going on with Madea and them, the actual plot with the teenagers was fucking dead.
Yeah, it was like...
nothing was happening at all, and it was really, really fucking stupid.
Yeah, and that brought me to my next point I wrote down. Very wasted potential. And as we've been...
Wasted.
You know, yeah. There's potential here, but they just wasted it.
They made the movie in a year. What do you expect?
That is true. You know, it's like... Makes me wonder about the other Madea movies. Yeah, I know they're not good either. But was there more of that? Or did they still try and sit on the whole, we need two plots, one with real-life characters, and then, crazy Madea. It's like,
Man, that Madea. Hashtag
you know what I mean?
Save me, Jesus. Save me, Jesus.
And yeah, that's overall my thoughts and thinking is like, man.
I want a funny Madea.
It's like you could make one too.
They could really...
You could.
Yeah, if they wrote it really tightly and made it like a really fast per joke basis, they could still have the same sort of comedy, but if it was really, really tight and done correctly, they could make it work really well. It could be a really funny movie.
Like I said, the characters themselves, the characters I didn't mind. It's just everything
else. Or in theory,
else.
didn't mind. Like, these characters could have been good.
Yeah.
They're not in this iteration.
I'd
say the one that's the most okay is Madea in this iteration.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
But I think that's the whole point.
Yeah, there were one, maybe two jokes in there that were like...
Yeah, there were actually, like... The only one that stands out.
You know what? The things that happened, they came from Madea and her party too.
Yeah,
is when they came.
There's nothing funny with the main.
No,
is that the main plot? Or what? Which one was the fucking B plot? I feel like they had the same amount of screen time.
They pretty much did. Yeah.
There was no B plot.
There was.
It was just split plot.
It was a split plot, but yeah.
No fun.
Yeah. Like one or two.
Madea.
Next point, oh wait.
No.
Oh, the non-old people and party subplot sucked.
It was bad.
It was really bad. It felt really cheesy. And I guess when you're making a movie that's supposed to be a comedy like that, it's supposed to be cheesy. This was just really bad at cheesy. Like,
yeah, it wasn't even like a Friday the 13th kind of like
cheesy where it's like, ooh, the teenagers. It's no. It was just. Like
it was literally someone handed them the script the first day they were shooting and said go, and
like, just go. It's like, hold on, I gotta rehearse this, and it's like,
just go. It doesn't matter. We don't care. You have a deadline, and it's like, okay, like so. Here's how it goes. This girl who I'm assuming was in the last last movie.
Like I said, we didn't see any of them. We didn't see the first one. We're just like, ooh, this one came out, so
and
watch it.
She's like, oh, I'm 18, and the dad character's like, haha, headphones, so I don't have to listen to your crummy music, which I would assume that a person would already own headphones.
Yeah, pretty
for
much.
that reason, unless he's insinuating like the radio, which in that case, use your fucking dad power and say, shut up, skank, whap.
You know, whap whap.
I'm a good parent. I'm not a parent, and there's a good reason. And then the mom just drives up. Hey, this is your car now.
Yeah, here, take the car. Wait, she doesn't have her license. Nope, her car. You can go. It's like, what?
Oh, okay. And then he's like, don't do that. And she's like, fuck you, kill yourself, little bitch boy. And she walks away. And he's like, yeah.
That's essentially what it is.
And then he goes back to his house, and he's like, Madea, I fucked up. And he's like, girl, what the fuck you do? And he's like, I'm a stupid man. You see? I tried to make happy day. She's sad day. She go away with mama. I'm sad now. Life is shit. And Madea is just like, and then everyone else is going, for
yeah, they had this whole
10
conversation,
minutes.
Something in there about breath stinking or something. It's like
Cadillac.
Like, God damn it.
It doesn't come from your mouth. It comes from other lips. It's like, holy shit, children are here. It's like, stop. And then it's like, okay. And then the kid comes back. Goes to the frat house. And then the frat's like, dude, you ruined
party now. You ruined it last year, but I don't want to party. I'm 18.
And everyone goes,
to me.
Dude, check the ID. And it pulls it out and it's like, oh shit. Dude, he's 18. Dude, no, she doesn't even say, dude, she's 18. She's like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
He just puts it back. It's like, wait, what?
First of all, if you just
you guys were making like a 5-minute deal about how it's important that she's 18, and then you grab it and say, fuck it, I don't care. It's like, excuse me? This is the whole point of your stupid shit. And then the guy who I think is FouseyTube, which is some YouTuber, I don't know him, I don't care, is just like a fucking crazy person.
Oh.
He sounds so weird. He's like, oh, you're 18. And
you know, like, I want to make a point here and say something like, every white actor was bad.
FouseyTube ain't white.
No.
FouseyTube's caramel.
It's great to say. But you know what I mean? They just all seemed really, like, ridiculously bad.
Yeah,
you know, more than everybody else is what it just felt like.
See? It's reverse racism.
Is Tyler Perry trying to imply something here?
Without a doubt. That or he just picked bad actors.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck cares, really? Then there's Horse, which is definitely not named Horse because of his hair.
Yeah,
that's the joke I said to him, and I feel like that's probably accurate. He's probably just got a monster dong, and that's his whole gimmick. And then there's the crazy fuck who keeps screaming and following her.
Yeah.
Him. And it's like, okay, this is the gimmick now. That's the dynamic. Cool. And she just shows up out of fucking nowhere every time.
Like,
it's like she's not in the scene, and then she's in the scene.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it felt like at the end, too, when she's just in the police station.
Yeah, she was not there before. No. And then she just appeared. Like, she was just in the group the whole time, but she was not. She just appeared and was like, Horse! Horse, get out of your room! It was just like, what the fuck's going on? Stop. It's scaring me. Stop. And then, okay, so back to the plot.
Yeah, the quote-unquote plot.
And then FouseyTube's like, we're going to Lake Derrick. And it's like, oh no, Lake Derrick, that the place where kids were killed? Yeah, that one. Dog, in for it?
The set doesn't even look like a lake. It looks like they put a whole set around a freaking pond.
It's great.
It's just...
There's no lake there. I swear there was not a lake.
Yeah, lakes are huge, not like this little thing.
It's funny. They probably just found a lake, and they're like, this one will do. Let's ask the state, and they're like, fuck it, I don't care. And we're like, okay, cool.
I don't care, you'll make money off it, just film it.
Fuck you, just get out of my face, Tyler Perry. And he's like, thank you, boo. And it's like, oh my god, get out. He's just using the whole Madea voice, and they just want him to leave, so they give it to him. That's how he makes them so quick. He just asks for stuff in annoying voices and gets it for free.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they're like, oh man, we should go. And then the random character that's the obvious foil is like, no, I don't want to go. It's scared. I'm scared. I don't like these guys. They're very gross.
I don't drink.
Yeah, out of nowhere, I'm Christian. It's like, oh, okay.
Good for you.
I guess this is the character now. Christian person. K. Character now. Bink. Put it in the bucket. So then she goes back home and is like, Daddy, can you go to Lake Derek? And he's like, no. Then he goes to Mom. Mommy, can you go to Lake Derek? Fuck yeah. Bring your friends too. Don't tell their parents either. Shh. So they go, and then they go, basically. And then Medea's like, ah, shit, Duz. I heard that they were going to go to Lake Derek.
Oh, yeah, she's like a complete asshole there. It's like, but by the way, did you know that they're going again? She's like, what?
Oh, yeah, like, she before they even leave.
Like, before they even leave, she's like, oh, yeah, what about that party you're going to? And I was like,
I think that's a valid thing. I think
I think it's valid, too.
That was kind of interesting, actually. But the mom still fucking wins.
I know.
Easily.
It's like,
and also, the other guy's, or the other girl's dad is there. And it's like, my daughter lied to me.
My daughter wouldn't lie. She's really a good girl.
Christian go. And I got some weird pedo vibes from him, and I don't know if that clicked with you, but there was just something about him that felt a little bit like...
Yeah, a little. Yeah.
And I didn't like it. But then they go to the camp, and then Medea's on the way to go to the camp as well. And they meet some spooky things. They hit a girl with a car, which we'll mention is really weird later. And then they're just like, oh shit. They're like, oh my god, here. And it's like, oh shit, dude, I hit a girl with a car, man. And then she goes. Then she's like, hey, are you alright? And she's just crying, sitting on the ground. And then spooky happens. And by every time there's supposed to be something spooky, it's really, 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 like, pointed out before it happens. I feel like
that was almost supposed to be intentional, though, because it's like,
I feel like to a degree, comedy. But it's like, you could at least put a slight spooky factor. I mean, the girls that were sitting in front of us got scared.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
These, like, 10 to 12-year-old girls. And, like, the best thing is, like, some lines they said as they were happening, so I wonder if they've seen the movie already? Like, there was one line, Madea was like, go to hell! And then one of the girls said the exact same thing at the exact same time. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Huh. Alright then, I guess we're gonna continue with this. So, where was I?
Oh, they encountered death.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mind that part where she just
encountered death bit was actually really funny.
I kind of like that, where she's just, like, all confident and, like, that typical, like, I'm just gonna
fucking boop your ass, bitch.
She, like, sticks her hand in the
and
hood.
It just flubs in.
She just floats through. She just, like, turns around.
Just walks away.
Just walks away. It's just like,
and I liked the old guy character. He's like, I was expecting to see you for a long time.
Yeah, I was expecting to see.
It's like, that was funny. And then they
like
drive.
The dynamics between the old people had potential.
Like, I liked it. It was kind of fun for some of them. Yeah. But like the screaming character, I did not like at all. It didn't spike as much as I thought it was going to on the audio. I'm actually impressed. Okay. Anyways, so they keep going, and then back to the other plot. There are people dancing, and they're all slutty because, yep, of course they are.
This really dumb. I'm not saying modern music's bad, but it just felt really
But it
cheesy.
Felt like they just found a song and
there was like a whole
it.
5 minutes of B-roll of them partying. It's
people
just going
panning around in circles. It's like, we already got the establishing shot. We could like, I was waiting for it to cut to action, and nothing happened.
And the thing is, the set was, like, also really small, so it was just, like, circling around the same, like, campfire and everything for, like, this whole 5 minutes. And it was like, what?
And then also, all of the costumes felt like they were just bought at a party store.
Which, I mean,
Which it makes sense, but I feel like they just went in and were like, fuck, we need to,
so the actors pick out which one you want.
Yeah, I feel like they just made the actors go get shit, and then they came back. And I'm like, okay, we'll reimburse you.
Want to be an extra on Madea? Just go get your own costume.
Bring your own costume, and you're fine.
Oh.
It's like, oh, okay. And then they're all sitting at the campfire, and people are slowly leaving, and one person gets murdered, I guess, and then the one girl runs with Horace for a bit, and then Horace disappears, and they're like, very scary.
Oh, no.
Very scary day. It's scary Halloween. And then the main girl, girlfriend, Fuzi and Fuzi friend are sitting at the campfire now, and they're talking, and they're obviously like, let's fuck. And the only person that's like, no thank you, is the
good
friend
Christian
one.
Girl.
And it's like, okay, this is enjoyable, because we're just watching everyone going, yes, and one person going, no, for like 10 minutes. And then finally
my question with that plot is very big. There were only like those 5 left, right?
I think it was just them 4.
Yeah, weren't they any bit concerned that there was nobody else?
No, they said that people were just leaving.
True.
Apparently. So I guess it was just like, oh yeah, people are leaving. It's fine. People go. People stay.
But I mean, if it was still a party, there would at least be more people.
I feel like there'd be more people trying to hold out the night, as they say.
Yeah, there were only like, there was only them 4 in that scene. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Hold up.
They just let all the rest of the actors go. They filmed the final scene, like,
yeah, it was
in between the two, so they could just get everybody else out, keep the paychecks small.
Keep them small. Well, you gotta pay by the day anyway. Well, depends.
Well, yeah, but you can get all the. Anyways, we're getting too technical.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all there, and she's like, "Ha, fuck," and Fuzi's like, "Ha, fuck," and then the other guy's like, "Ha, fuck," and then the other one's like, "No, stop it," and then eventually the no stop it one leaves, and the fuck guy leaves with her, and then it's them two, and it's main girl and Fuzi. They go to a tent, and it's like, "Oh yeah, that's fuck," and then scary, happy Halloween. And then, like, I can't remember if it was one of the, like chainsaw men or if it was what. But they show up and they're like, oh, shit, this was scary. And then they run around for a bit. And then Madea ends up in a haunted house. And they're like, fuck, dude. Scary stuff outside. And then the children show up and like, what you doing, children? And it's like, we're scared as fuck, dude. And they're like, oh, shit. And then they go out and then they go to the car. And then the little white cloaked girl shows up,
she's like,
and it's like, I'm here. And then the dad shows up, and is like, what the fuck's going on? And they're like, fuck, it's very scary, very, very scary. And then he walks up to the girl, and it's like, this is the girl. By the way, this is all a fucking prank. It's like, this was elaborate as shit. How'd you plan this in a not night, even?
I know. It's like you had that much time to plan this and arrest everybody else for trespassing, because they head to the jail, and like everybody from the party's in those jail cells.
Yeah. It's like, no, you're fucking with me. There's no way. And a lot of that shit could not have happened if they were fake, which I think is why they retconned some of it at the end.
Yeah.
Because hitting an actual human being with the car at that speed would have killed them and not left them crying on the side of the road.
So does that mean the chainsaw guys actually killed a couple people then?
Oh.
Like the guy who went to go get ice? Was that his actual blood?
I mean, they never explained away the chainsaw guys. They only explained the little white cloaked girls. So, yeah, there's probably a body count.
Well, yeah, it really is.
Huh.
Yeah, they just straight up hit a girl.
Yeah.
With their car, and they're just like, okay, this
is...
Oopie doopie. I was like, that's not okay. That is not okay.
I'm like, yeah, go check on her. It's like, no, I'm not gonna go check on her.
I'm not checking on her. It's like, go. No.
But yeah, that was that fucking trash pile. I hated it. It was so bad. It made me so angry, cause like people genuinely try to make films
more than anything.
But they can't because people don't want them. And then there's fucking Madea that's like, hey, we're gonna make another Madea, and they're like, go for it. They probably don't even have to argue for it. They probably just walk in and say, Madea, and they're like, yeah. And then they go out and film something and make it.
To me, that's kind of my problem today with the movie industry and everything, how it's just more based on more franchises than anything. You know what I mean?
This is a franchise that doesn't do anything. That's the problem. Like, the franchises that at least try a little bit are like, okay, at least they're trying a little bit. This isn't fucking trying. This is bullshit. It's stupid. It makes me angry.
It just feels like, it's like, even, I'm not saying the Marvel movies are that or bad or anything, no. But you know what I mean? It's just kind of that idea of...
Let's make a lot of movies
Let's make a lot of these movies. Let's plan them out years in advance. I hate that.
I think planning out makes sense.
I mean, planning out, okay, it does make sense, but it just feels like you're just planning out every point you're going to make money. You're making one every year so you know you can keep that steady income stream in. We know that. You know, it's like, we know.
Yeah, but everyone's doing it. I mean,
but
like, everything is usually based off of something or something along those lines, because most things aren't original anymore. Like, I'm going to now ramble into something else, which it could honestly probably turn into a full topic, like the anime industry, like I was talking to you earlier about, and I wanted to say for the podcast. So, like, a lot of anime being made is based off an already existing thing.
Right, like a manga. It's much almost,
like, 95% at least is, like,
what are some examples that didn't?
A lot of PA work stuff is solo. That means nothing to you.
Yeah, that sentence right there literally meant yeah.
It's a studio that makes a lot of their own stuff. They made Charlotte, which I like a lot, even though a lot of people say the pacing at the end is kind of bad. But it's not that bad. It makes sense due to the time crunch, and they had 24 episodes written, but they had to make it 12. Anyways.
Oh, okay.
They made one of my favorite shows, Shirobako, which is a really fun, like, anime about the anime industry. And it's not... it's a very light and, like, happy version
of what actually happens.
What actually goes down. I mean, it's still hectic and, like, oh no, we might miss a deadline. But it's still, like, in the end, we made a good anime, and we're all proud. And actually, another show that's a completely separate thing, Girlish Number, is, like, a really good show about voice actors and one that just is like, I'm gonna phone it in and don't give a fuck. And they're just there to make a bad fucking anime to make money. And that's another thing, is, like, a lot of companies, a couple excluded, like, PA Works, Bones, I know doesn't make a whole lot of shows per year, and Kyoto Animation, other ones too, but I can't think of any off the top of my head that don't make a lot, that, like, just keep cranking out shows constantly. Like, there will be ones that have, like, 2 per season, which is a lot of work to be making them. Because, I mean, oftentimes they'll send out, like, the in-betweens to foreign, like, Korean companies, but all of the in-house stuff is still being worked on in-house. And if they're doing, like, 2 shows at a time every season, that's like 8 shows a year at least, and some studios make even more than that. I know A1, I think, at one point did like 13 in a year. Imagine fucking working there. That would, and for one, the working condition there is not good generally. I mean, the working issue in Japan is already a problem. It has a lot of side effects. Like,
what is the working issue then, I guess? What is it more of like
generally in Japan, the kind of, like, the American dream is get a nice job, be happy, live a fulfilling life. There it's work. If you do not work, you are a loser person. You must work. And that is pretty much the whole thing.
The work in order to make a living and do...
It's just work. Then you are good.
So
like, people still go into other things because they like them, but basically it's just to work. There's no, like, let's work and have fun. Let's have fun. Like the whole high school thing, the reason that so many anime are set in high school is because at that point the adults are already trapped in something that they can't really get out of, which is the working environment. So basically escapism is going back to high school, while for us, escapism is like the workforce or being a kid or something like that. Because those are, like, more interesting, while high school is just fucking get me out. I'm so close.
Kind of reminds me of the way everything was in the early 1900s and, like, the Industrial Revolution and that. And, like, with, like, all the immigrants coming over and all these factories, it's like, you came here, you want the American dream? Well, you're working. You work. All day.
All day.
That's it.
Like,
you work.
People pass out in the streets.
Yeah. You're working in a factory. That's it. You're working.
Yeah, it's...
all day. I'm sure they're not all sitting there working in a factory, no, but
yeah,
it's just kind of what I'm trying to find
anywhere,
something to relate to, where it's just like
thing,
you're working all the time.
It's crazy because it's like everywhere. I saw a video on Facebook. It was like people drawing around people that were passed out on the ground from, like, being sleep deprivation from working constantly. They're like in full suits and they're just passed out on the ground. Just they cannot do anything. Like, and that still applies with the anime industry. People think that it's only the anime industry, but it's not. It's a lot of separate things too. Most business stuff. But the worst thing is they work a ton and most do not get paid a lot. Like, at all. It's not good. And a lot of people know that at this point, and there's a lot of things to try to help that.
It's like, as much as you want to criticize maybe something like America for, like, saying, oh, you got people, it's like you need more minimum wage and stuff like that. I don't think we have it as bad as
some places.
Because we actually have a minimum wage regulation and stuff like this.
Yeah, I don't know what the whole, like, money thing is in Japan. But Japan, they just work a lot anyways. I think it's just they're scheduled to work and they don't think anything of it.
Think about it.
Just work.
A work week is 5 days a week. That's it, it's like usually unless retail or something else like that, or a restaurant. But you know what I mean? It's usually just 5 days a week or something like that.
But the game industry here is still like, you could end up working like 90 hours. That's certain places though. That's not everywhere. Yeah. That's a lot of like EA and stuff like that. Yeah. Those are the specific like, oh, that one's not a good spot ones that people know about already. Mm-hmm. But what the fuck was I on? I was trying to think where I was in my talking. We were talking about the condition of like anime working, and then we talked about the show count. Let's go back to show count a little bit.
In action.
And like the show count too is like, so Bones usually does like maybe 1 or 2, and like Kyoto Animation usually does like 1, maybe 2. Like, I think, as far as I can remember, from this year, they've only made Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I think that's the only one from this year that they've done that I can remember or know of at this moment. And then next year, they have the Chunibyo movie, which I'm excited for. I hope that comes over, because that was one of my early anime that I saw, and it was really good. And then on top of that, like, a lot of anime don't make money anyways. The whole reason that they keep making them is so, like, maybe this one will make money, maybe this one will make money, maybe this one
will be the next Dragon Ball or something. Yeah, like, maybe this one
insanely like, maybe
popular.
It's literally them just doing coin tosses instead of, like, formulating a plan and doing good work, like what Bones does. They look into it, they're like, alright, My Hero Academia, that's what we're gonna make. They make it and everyone screams because it's really, really well done.
Yes, it is really good.
They go and they're like, Kekai Sensen. And then everybody screams because they worked really hard and made it really good. And now you move over to... my throat's like terrible.
Listen to that, boys.
I'm cutting it out.
Only boys, girls don't.
Girls don't understand.
Just Never mind, I'm leaving ears.
It in. Yeah, we're gender profiling apparently on this show.
Hey, yeah.
Welcome to our Bestest podcast where
we're gonna piss off our 10 viewers.
All of them are female. That's the whole audience.
That would be really shit. Okay, it wouldn't be a bad thing.
It would be shitty in this situation.
It'd be shitty in this situation. No. Don't take that out of context, please.
It'd be shitty if all of our viewers were female. It's bullshit, dude. No, it's just like, oh shit, that would have been a really bad coincidence. But
it'd be hilarious. Though.
Like, you move over to A1 Pictures and they're like, we made Phoenix Wright anime, and I'm just like, oh fuck yeah! I watched the first episode and I couldn't even get through it because it was fucking dreadful. I'm like, no,
was it really?
That was a really good. That was a good game.
Oh, I haven't played any of those games. I really
like them.
My problem is I don't know if I'll have time to play them because it's like, man, I could probably get the trilogy cheap, the 3DS one.
Oh yeah, on 3DS.
But it's like, will I ever find time to play through all 3 games?
You're a busy man.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't even beat Samus Returns.
But I feel like A1 Pictures is just like, when can we make a new Sword Art? Something, please stick to this wall. And it's like, you're not gonna do it, just make more seasons of Sword Art Online so I can make a video screaming about it, because it's one of my favorite bad shows. I hope they end up making a, what's it called? Eromanga Sensei sequel, because that show was shit too. That's the thing, is I also hate when they make bad shows because it's not worth it, But also, I love watching really bad stuff. It's like my favorite thing, is just watching really poorly made things. Because they're just so bad. It's so great. But, like, and then right now, Studio Pierrot is working on Boruto, Naruto's dad. And
that's his dad?
Or Boruto's dad, which is the joke name for Naruto now.
Oh,
because Boruto's now the thing. Anyways, so Boruto's happening, and then they're doing Black Clover, which isn't good at all. It's paced so bad. Like, by episode 4, you're maybe finishing chapter 2 of the manga.
Oh, that's great.
It's like, oh, that's smart. This is fun. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I like spending 12 minutes on a flashback that establishes something that you could have done in 10 seconds. Cool.
Pretty much.
Let's do that 12 times, please. That's what it felt like for fucking, what was it? Attack on Titan Season 2. Like, by episode 8, I just realized the bullshit. I was like, wait a minute. We just keep cutting to a flashback. It's a pad for time. This show would be a lot better if we just kind of kept going. Welp, I don't like this anymore.
So you just stopped watching that altogether?
Yeah, by episode 8, I was just done.
See, it's kind of funny. I don't... You know, everybody talked about Attack on Titan Season 1 when it came out.
Yeah.
You know, like, everybody talked about it. Like, it was the next, like, huge thing. I haven't heard anybody talk about Season 2. I haven't heard really anybody.
Quiet. That's the thing is, it was super hyped at the first one. And by the time the second one came out, less people cared. Because at that time, this is something that a channel coined as, like, transitional anime. It's like the anime that you find to bring yourself to new anime, which is Sword Art Online, Death Note, in some instances, Attack on Titan, like shows that are variably good,
right?
But will catch a large audience really, really quickly, and then they'll probably move on to more other things,
right?
Because if I walked into the room and said, "Here, watch Panty and Stocking," you'd be like, "What the fuck is this thing?" You'd be like, okay, this is just weird, and I don't know if I like it. But if I walked in and said, here's Sword Art Online, it'd be like, this is slightly relatable at the very least. I can kind of get around this.
Yeah, and then
it's like, and then you can slowly bounce
yeah.
around until you get to the point where you're watching like really weird shit that you're like, I don't know what's going on. This is weird. The moment when you're watching Fully Cully, you still don't get it. But you're like, this was cool at least. I don't understand what's going on, but I enjoyed it.
So, yeah, it is. Yeah,
so that's my anime rumble.
His little rumble.
Rumbling.
No time for him to do an anime ramble.
It's time to do an anime rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Make it all fucking weeby and shit. That'll be the new show. Is fucking anime.
Yeah, we're done with the podcast.
Yeah, we're done with the podcast. Now it's gonna be anime rumble, where we pit two shows against each other and fight in a
Yep, we're gonna be copying Screw Attack's Death Battle.
No,
but
no, it's better. We'll do the fucking Deadlock series from Game Theory, and it'll be like, Eromanga Sensei was a pile of dookie, and then you're like, Eromanga Sensei was high art and good class. Ready, fight. It was bad. It was good, bad, good, bad, good. We've reached deadlock. You decide. Even though one side obviously won the argument.
Yeah.
It's like,
he hasn't even made any of those. He just kind of stopped. And I'm like, oh, it's an interesting idea. He just didn't do it anymore.
But he didn't do it well either. It's like, this is okay.
Yeah, they weren't.
But they're very one-sided arguments. And it's always Matt Pat who's supposed to be the winner. Yep. If you haven't noticed. It's always him that's like, I did it. I win. Yay, me. Like, he always makes it so he's the one with the argument that wins. It's like, should the Switch be good or bad? And he brings Reggie, and Reggie's like, it should be good. And he's like, it should be bad. And then it's like, okay, we reached a deadlock. Who wins?
Yeah, who wins?
It's like, man, I wonder if it's like promotion or some shit. It's like, I got Reggie to talk about Nintendo. Here we go. I don't like Game Theory anymore.
No, they're not good.
I used to like it. It's not fun.
They used to be good when.
What was their most recent
when
video?
you actually had topics to talk about, and now it's just like you're just.
They ran out of shit,
horse.
so they're just looking around like,
really
that one. I'm gonna look up what their most recent video was.
Looking it up.
Game
Looking it up.
Theory.
Gonna take a look at that YouTube bar.
YouTube bar.
Looking it up.
20 hours
Looking
ago.
it up.
Cappy's evil origin. Oh, that's a Gaijin Goomba, though. Oh my god, it was actually a FNAF video. Why?
What is it called?
Why? FNAF, the final theory. Bullshit. And then the one before that was Minecraft Endermen are not what you think they are. It's like, what the fuck is this? Stop. And then there was a Bendy video, like, what, a year after Bendy was even popular?
Bendy. What was Bendy?
Some fucking Bendy and the Ink Machine bullshit. Some horror FNAF-esque game. Who fucking cares?
Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yeah, it's supposed to be epic spooks, dude.
Top tier.
Top peer. Top ear. Flop ear. Gop smear. Kill me, please.
So as you can see, as a theme with this podcast is we like to talk about things that are like a week old already.
Hey, listen, it's your fault we're talking about it a week later.
That have already happened, and that'll like go by with any of our topics.
Yeah, we're always a week behind. We are not current
news.
Yeah,
we are never. Yeah, if you want non-current news, come to this podcast because we're not on top of it.
Yeah, it's just like tomorrow we're like, the president just got elected. Can you believe it? We're not gonna say anything about that other than the president getting elected. Okay, just kidding.
Oh no, but yeah, as you can tell, week old. We've been playing some Super Mario Odyssey.
He's playing some.
Yeah, he's played it a little more than I have. Okay?
I've 100%ed like 6 or 7 worlds by now.
Yeah, he's been playing it a little more than I have.
I've been working.
I'm only on the what is it called? Wooded Kingdom. Yeah, the Wooded Kingdom. That's as far as I got.
It's really hard for me to not talk about a lot because I don't want to.
Yeah, because
spoil for him.
Because
I'm already like
don't find
deep into
time,
the post game.
So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but God, it's fucking great. I love it.
It is really good, and it's a good game.
I love it. I love it a lot. A lot of it has to do with the movement. For me. Because I like games with a lot of free movement style. Because I like being able to just be like, and now I'm here. I probably shouldn't be, but I am. How do you fucking feel about that video game? And then it's like, here's some coins. And I'm like, yeah, man. Because that's how the game works. Is like, they definitely tested the game to the point where it's like, all right, here are all the places people can, in theory, get. Just put some coins on it. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I like that too, where it's just a lot of good movement. Very few games, and I'm not talking like... In this one, I'm excluding like platform or like 2D platformers and that.
Yeah, because
really
2D platformers have like no reason to not have good movement. If
like,
a 2D platformer has bad movement, it's a fucking bad idea.
Like stuff like the Sly Cooper games or the Crash Bandicoot, that have really good 3D movement. And even like, do you remember the game Sunset Overdrive?
I remember hearing about that.
That game was
I was
like,
interested in it only because of how it moved. Because I liked how that looked in terms of movement.
That game was really good.
Yeah.
Like, it was really smooth with the riding on rails and everything. And just how it encouraged you to be, like, put together all these weird movement combos and everything. It was like really fun to experiment with, and that was a cool game.
Yeah. Like, I love how you can, like, you know about New Dunk City. You've seen it in trailers.
Yeah.
It was in trailers, so I feel like I can mention it. It's not like, wait, there's a city level in the game with humans in it? I like how people are still freaking out about the humans thing, and I'm not even, like, stunned. I've watched a lot of Sonic X in my day. I don't give a fuck about humans in my video game character. I've played Sonic 06. This isn't jarring at all to me anymore.
Yeah, because Sonic 06 is the real showman of that.
Deadlock, which is a better game with real humans in it, Sonic 06 or Mario Odyssey? Ready? Death battle. But
the guy with Sonic 06 is like, how can I even contend?
Listen, there was a lot of potential. It could have been a really fun game, but they didn't do it right. And he's like, and then Matt Patcher's like, Mario Odyssey, your turn. And he's like, it's fun to do the glitches sometimes. There's some really game-breaking stuff that's fun to do. And then it comes back to Mario Odyssey is good. And he's like,
who won? You decide. Like,
for some reason, like, all of the points made by the Sonic 06 guy, like, really did drain the health bar of the other, like, Matt Pat do. Then they're both at 1%. We reached deadlock. It's like, oh.
Of course you did.
That would be amazing. I'd love to watch that. I'd just be like, this is a good choice. But, like, I love being able to ground pound, spring jump, throw Cappy, ground pound again, then spring jump, then dive onto Cappy, then throw Cappy again, then dive forward.
Yeah, there's
like, holy shit, this is fun.
There's some really interesting
I love movement in
combos.
This game. It's really good. Like, that is just the big thing for me. Because Sunshine was fun, because movement was kind of cool with Flood. Galaxy was okay. I didn't really enjoy the movement that much.
I like Galaxy for more of the, well, I guess for more of the level design and that and everything with the 3D spherical planets and that. Yeah. You know, that's what I liked about Galaxy. That was kind of fun.
And then 64, I really liked playing the DS version because that's what I had for a long time.
64 is really good,
Yeah, I like 64 a lot. It's very fun, but it's tricky. Because it's still a little old. So it's like, we kind of understand how to make this work. But now it's like, well, we figured it out. We cracked the code. Here you go, play the game. And it's like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, some of the jumps people have been making are fucking wild, and I love watching those videos. It's just like people going, okay, I've seen, like, a really late game, like, level skip that's just mind-boggling. Like, there's a whole segment that you have to go to reach another segment, and people just manage to skip it.
Oh, I figured.
It's like, whoa.
Anything's possible with that type of thing.
Yeah, I've definitely been playing around with that a lot, too. I've just been like, where can I go? Can I get there? And then my brother's like, stop it. You're not going to get there. Use the frog. And I'm like, no. I want to do it myself, and then I can't because the certain point is like, okay, you have to use the frog now. It's like, I just gotta use the frog.
Fuck the frog. Fuck the frog.
Fucking frog.
Fucking frog.
Like, but yeah, like, and all of the levels are really nice.
Yeah, they are. It is.
And people complain constantly about how it's too easy in a short game. I've probably put in like 20 hours at this point, and I'm not done. It just depends on... Yeah, you can beat the game in an hour 20 if you go very, very fast and really, really coordinate your stuff. Sure, you can definitely beat the game in like 2 hours if you just run through it, grab exactly how many moons you need, and go to the next one. But that's not how the game's trying to make you play. If you grab like 3/4 of the moons and leave, and like, wow, that was an easy world, you're not finding the hard ones. Because it does get hard, and, like, later post-game, there's more moons and shit, and it's like, these are genuinely difficult. Like, some challenges post-game were like, okay, I've died, like, 50 times on this bullshit. I'm angry. So what? Let's do it again. But, like, I like all the kingdoms. They all have a really nice aesthetic, and the music's great.
Yeah, the music's pretty good.
I really like the movie.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like I said, it's just like all the other Mario games. It's really good. Yeah. To me, it's just like, oh yeah,
Where would you rate it in comparison to the other ones?
I don't know. I always like Sunshine the best. To me, that one just always, personally to me, my favorite.
I haven't played Sunshine in a while, so I'd have to go back to it. But right now, Odyssey is definitely the top for me.
Maybe it's been a year or two, but still, last when I played it, everything about Sunshine, like the movement, that is still really smooth and just really good. Yeah, to me, Sunshine's always... I almost would have to say, like, Galaxy's, like, second. Well, I don't have a place for Odyssey yet, so...
Yeah, you haven't beat it, technically, so it makes sense.
With Galaxy, to me, that was like the first one I truly beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one I first finished, so that one always just kind of holds it. Like,
that's probably why for me, Kirby's Adventure is still my favorite Kirby game, because that's the first one I beat. That's I think the first game I beat.
Kirby's Adventure.
That was like a game.
That's the NES one, right?
Yeah, I played that on the 3DS.
That one I really like, though.
Yeah.
Kirby's Adventures are really good.
It's really good. And if I managed to play through all of Superstar, that'd probably end up being my new favorite. Because I really like Superstar.
Good too.
And if I probably finished Quake Squad, I would probably also like that one a lot.
Superstar.
Like, I love a lot of the Kirby games. I'm so excited for the one on the Switch. Oh my fucking god. I'm so ready.
Did they announce one?
Forever ago. Like, E3 did.
Oh. I don't remember. I don't pay attention to it that much.
It's like a multiplayer one, and it's really fun. And it has, like, power mixing mechanics again. I like that. I like the Kirby 64 power mixing. That one's fun, but that one felt really slow.
Kirby 64?
Yeah, in terms of movement.
Yeah, you can...
You kind of just waddle.
Yeah, because it was kind of on that 3D plane and everything. And
yeah. You could tell that it was just kind of moving slow.
Right.
To make sure the game wouldn't just, like, be like, hug.
Oh, yeah, like, drag along and that. So I was like, okay.
It was cool, though. I liked it. It's a good game, and I like the power mixing. It's fun.
Yeah. Kirby games, to me, the Kirby games always have like a real, they're just a fun game to play.
Yeah.
You know?
Because they're not like hard.
They're not, no, they're not. They're just fun.
It's
you know?
a fun game.
They're just really fun. And I
like
just always have a good time with just sitting there like, yeah.
Are you ready for the gritty reboot?
The gritty Kirby reboot? Like they did with Bomberman back in the early 2000s.
I keep forgetting that was actually really a thing that happened.
Yeah, it existed.
I keep forgetting that's genuinely a real thing.
And it was trash. Well, I don't remember. I think the gameplay might have been fine.
But it's just the
in
fact
terms
that
of
they
like
did it.
Yeah, they did Bomberman.
They were like, hey, what if we made Bomberman
reboot?
look like Halo? And it's like, why would you do that?
That is bad. It's just don't.
Why would you do that to us, you buffoon?
Now, transitioning into our next topic, we're all over the place with this because we like to go on any topics we find, and I think
we
that's
like
kind of
flying around in circles.
Yeah, we're actually back to a movie topic, so
movie topic.
But this one comes. This isn't the original article I found. I believe it was like a Wall Street Journal something. But
yeah.
Here's the one I found. Also replicating this, it says Defiant.
I don't know what this is.
But this is Defiant theater owners are refusing to play Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Huh? Obviously coming out a big box office.
Wait, what?
Now, here's what came out and why.
Why not?
Basically, Disney has released new terms on how you have to be playing the movie. You know how this is their terms of us. Now, these terms include the fact that Disney will receive 65% of revenue from ticket sales, the highest percentage. They're also forcing the highest percentage it's been. First of all, I believe it's more or less like a 50-50 split on a lot of these movies, or maybe even 55 or something. So this 65% revenue
is really high.
Yes. They're also forcing theaters to screen the film in their largest auditorium for at least 4 weeks. For at least 4 weeks.
That is a month.
And Disney movies usually only require, and big box office movies or something too, usually only require maybe a 2-week minimum or a week minimum. Now, this has just come out where Disney is kind of almost forcing the hand of a lot of these theater owners, you know, to say, you have to be playing our movie in your, in your biggest theater. You can't downscale it. Well, you can, but you have to be at least showing it in this large auditorium. And now the big issue that's coming out with this is even coming from smaller theaters or some of these ones that are still one-screen theaters saying, why should we show it when,
that'll be the only movie we can show now.
For a whole month, that's the only movie we can show. No one's going to go to it by the end of 2 weeks or something. You know what I mean? It's going to really drag down their business, so, it's kind of a catch-22, you show Star Wars, you're going to make a lot of money, but then small, it's not going to make a lot of money in the long run because you're going to have to keep showing it. It's like it's made dwindle business here and there. Yeah. And that just brings me to the idea of just how much of a stronghold Disney has on this industry. And now I'm just talking...
Now they do.
And I'm just talking as a whole, acquiring LucasArts, the Marvel Studios, what they're doing with live action, everything they have.
Don't even get me started on live action.
Don't
even get me started on live action.
Just naming it, but, owning Pixar and all that, just everything involved. That just shows you how big Disney has become to the point where it almost, to me, is kind of worrying. Where it's like, oh,
like, how much movie will they eat?
And think about it. All those that I just listed, they're franchises. All their next movies are all planned out, ready, and each one has a release every year.
And then as with Disney as well. Disney and Pixar.
Yeah, a release every year. So it's a constant
flow.
So it's like it's this constant flow of money they're gaining and just, their grip on the industry. And to me, something I found interesting on that is almost the effect it would have on other movies releasing at that time around Christmas too. If Disney's forcing their movie to say, you want it, you're going to have to play it in our big auditoriums. Well, what about these other big releases?
Yeah, like I think Boo the greatest 2, that was a big theater.
Like The Greatest Showman and stuff like that. The circus one, it's like, Is that going to be forcing them to play it in smaller theater? You know, is it going to be like decreasing ticket sales for them just because Disney wants big revenues for their film specifically? You know, is it just kind of...
It's like, why do they even need it, though? They don't even need to
especially
upscale
when it
that
used to
much.
be a 2-week
It's
minimum.
not like they're losing money.
No, they're really not. And almost it's kind of a good deal for these big theaters too, you know, like
for
these
the
big
theaters,
chains.
it's perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, because even if you're only making, is it 35? 35. Yeah, 35% on the movie. When the movie's expected to do as much as it's probably gonna do, they're still gonna be making pretty good money off of that deal itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're still. It just comes into the problem with these smaller theaters and these smaller chains and everything in there. And it's like, okay, Disney, is this kind of...
Yeah.
Also, another thing, if Disney finds out that a theater didn't comply to those terms when showing the film, Disney will raise their intake from the ticket sales by 5% up to 70%.
Jesus Christ.
So they'll be taking a 70-30 split off of the film itself.
Oomph.
That's pretty significant for, you know, the way box offices are going in that.
Now everything's going to get more expensive.
Which, it may also lead to that, you know, just in stuff, you know, just in general there. And that'll probably lead to Disney not saying you can't do a matinee of Star Wars either.
That's
because,
likely.
You know, when they want such a big split.
Money for it?
Yeah. So that's... It was just, you know, I just caught that article by surprise, and I'm like, this is actually pretty significant.
Now this is political.
But it's just interesting to see. It's like, is that how it's going now?
Yeah.
Are more theaters gonna have to start demanding more of a bigger take from their films, or is it just
maybe indie films will become more popular because they're like, I don't want to fucking Disney anymore. Here, how about you? You look good.
That may also be true too. You know, it could also be helpful, but at the same time, also be losing out these theaters. Like, we know The Last Jedi will make money, but at the same time, we don't want to be playing it for 4 weeks straight. You know.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I was wondering about that. Our local theater chain here, Celebration Cinema. I'm gonna keep an eye out for this to see if it's, you know,
it should be playing there.
Oh, it will be playing there. I already have tickets.
Brian, what about me?
It's sold out.
No, I thought we could.
We had to buy him the night of. No. Like we just got him.
Fine, I hate Star Wars now. I'm a Star Trek fanboy now.
You haven't seen a single Star Trek movie, have you?
What the Spock?
Have you seen besides the
Khan?
I'm so disappointed. So disappointed.
Khan.
Nailed it.
Well, I'm just holding up the fucking this one. You know, the Spock figure one with the two.
I can't even do that with my fingers.
The live long and prospered on.
I don't know why. I just can't do that.
Keep calm and live long and prosper, dude.
Keep calm. Oh, yeah, I'm going to keep an eye out for that to see if they really are keeping it in their biggest theater for the 4 weeks.
They will be, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. It's just going to be... It's just weird of a topic. It's like, oh, boy, Disney, you're really pushing
you're really
these...
strong-arming. Really,
and I did go see Thor Ragnarok last night.
That did come out, didn't it?
It was interesting. I think it suffered from the same Marvel thing that's been going on, and you know,
it makes
it's like
me so
it's
angry
good, but it's like we have to put in humor here, even though there are clear dramatic moments that have been like, that's fine. There too. Yeah,
I don't even want to watch it.
But I think overall it was a real fun and enjoyable film, especially the stuff on like fighting the Hulk and on the other world and stuff.
The Hulk looks weird though.
It's like, man,
he looks really like mannish in a really like I look pretty, but I'm also really beefy way.
He did.
Instead of looking like fucking like rough and like I'm gonna fucking rip.
But I did fight, you know, all that stuff was enjoyable. Then they had their usual kind of like the villain was kind of weak in that too. But there were some real cool moments and. Overall, it was good. So, yeah.
I feel like the only one that made sense to have, like, jokes in it during some bits was probably, Spider-Man, because it's that type of story.
Yeah, or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, because that would make sense. I haven't seen either of them.
Those two movies are really good. Like, they are probably two of my favorite Marvel movies right there.
Stupid movies.
Because they're really well done.
I am Groot.
Sure.
I know movies.
Yep, you know movies now.
I know movies. I am Groot. This cake is a lie. Fuck, that's a video game.
No, it's the movie.
What movie?
The movie.
What cake and lie movie?
Is not. You're wrong. Why'd you believe it was a movie?
I don't know. I don't know anything, man. I don't watch movies a lot.
Just take a 180 and blame it on you for that.
You lied to me.
It's like, hold on,
this is
you
a big
lied
old
to
bait
me,
and
and then
switch. Big old bait and snitch.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of Dr. Seuss movies.
There's also been a lot?
I said there hasn't been a lot anymore.
Well, I guess there was like a couple. You had the Lorax.
Didn't something like... No, that... Okay.
I like Torton Years of Who.
Yeah, that one was kind of good.
Isn't there a live-action Grinch coming?
What?
I thought there was a live
action. Look that up.
No, not live action. I was
gonna say, they wouldn't be making a live-action one because the wife of...
They already did.
The wife of Dr. Seuss was like, no more live-action shit after The Cat in the Hat happened.
No.
They're like, no more.
I was going to say they already made a live-action Grinch anyway.
They did do that. It was a movie.
It existed.
Jim Carrey was a perfect cast. That's all I got to say about it. That's all I can be like, yeah, good choice.
Jim Carrey's been kind of out of the spotlight.
I think Jim Carrey has kind of gone I
think
weird.
He's been dealing with some stuff. I've seen videos and he's been huge into painting. Like,
he's a little bit off the end.
He's kind of
up.
Yeah.
I don't want anything bad to happen to him because then like my second favorite comedian actor will be dead.
He's just kind of he's gone that route.
Robin Williams died the day before my birthday, so I always remember it.
Yeah.
It's fucking upsetting.
Was he?
Don't even get me started on the Aladdin live action, Brian.
No, I'm not.
Don't get me started.
I'm with you though on not liking the live action remakes. The only one I didn't see the Jungle Book,
but that one's the one that makes the most sense.
It does, and like the other one that also makes the most sense was Pete's Dragon.
Pete's Dragon was fucking good.
I liked Pete's Dragon
because the original Pete's Dragon was just so bad.
And the original was still that animation live action hybrid.
This is just CG animation
and
instead of 2D.
I just kind of like the way it took it to. I liked this Pete's Dragon. I really did, and I thought that was good.
I liked it. It was
now
good
something
mood.
Like I didn't see Beauty and the Beast. I heard it was
I did.
Right. I know you saw Cinderella too. I haven't really seen any of the live action.
Cinderella, man. That was bad. I only saw it because of the Frozen short at the beginning.
It's like, to me, it's like, oh boy, why do we have to do all these live actions? Like the Lion King live action?
Lion King, why? Lion King, why?
It's like, it makes I know we have the technology to do it.
But there's no point. Really do. They're all animals.
Yeah, but it's just
You're just using live action sets. That's it. There's no point.
The way the animation was created
Seth Rogen's
just
Pumbaa.
Really... Yeah, Seth Rogen's Pumbaa.
I'm excited about that.
I mean, I like Seth Rogen.
That's the thing
as
is
an
they
actor.
keep picking very specific actors to be like, well, now I gotta see it. Like they picked fuck, I keep forgetting his name all the time. A guy who played LeFou. He also played Elder Cunningham.
Yeah, Josh Gad.
Josh Gad. I keep fucking forgetting his name.
We love the Book of Mormon, by the way.
I love Josh Gad.
Oh man, we can look up a picture. We dressed up for one of the school spirit days as Mormons.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great.
We got like the big part of the yearbook too. We were like the biggest picture on that page. It was great. We win. But yeah.
We're huge.
I went for Josh Gad because I was like, yeah, Josh Gad, and he did not disappoint. And now I'm probably like, Seth Rogen, huh? Let's see how this goes, because he sounds perfect for Timon or Pumbaa.
I like Seth Rogen though as an actor. You know, I just
just some of his things aren't very good.
Yeah, like there's some stuff like Sausage Party that was.
He doesn't like Sausage Party. I haven't seen it yet.
It's kind of like what we said with the Madea movie, where it's like there's potential here, but they just wasted it. Like every opportunity
to go. Let's say fuck.
There's a whole food orgy scene at the end.
That's the point of the movie.
But it's just really
it's
bad
really deep,
dumb.
man. You don't understand it, dude.
it's just not good.
You just don't get it.
But it's like there was...
they're born to fuck. You know, like food does, man.
But it's like some of Seth Rogen stuff. I know This Is the End. I really like Superbad. Yeah. I really like that movie. That's a really good movie.
Superbad is super good.
Have you seen that one? You should see that one. I
haven't seen that one.
That one's a real good one.
Probably every movie you say, have you seen this? I'm like, no. Just start naming movies and seeing if I've seen them.
I was going to say, you wouldn't have seen Blazing Saddles unless we watched it.
Yeah, I watched that with you.
But Blazing Saddle's really good.
Yeah. Blazing Saddle, really good. Just, like, start naming movies and seeing if I've seen them.
What are you here for? Stampeding bulls? That's not very evil. Through the Vatican? Ooh, kinky.
Kinky.
But Hey, we're okay. Yep.
Okay. Lay them on me, thick boy.
Young Frankenstein.
Nope.
That one is probably one of Mel Brooks's best, right there. He films it in the style of even the old Frankenstein movies too, and everything. It's just a really well done film.
Made by me.
And interesting. That's like that's the only one he's not in himself, Mel Brooks, and that was actually at the request of Gene Wilder. He's like, if
Gene
just
Wilder's
please for the sake of this film, don't be in it. And you had to tell him, and it's like, just don't. Because Mel Brooks is a good actor.
Weren't they pals or something?
Oh yeah, they're huge. But he just told him, it's like, just for the sake of this one, just stay out of this one. There's no need to just focus on directing and everything. The other one would be Spaceballs.
Haven't seen that one either, but I own it. I own it, but I haven't seen it yet.
That Spaceballs is just like the perfect.
It's another satire parody one.
If I had to say two others, have you seen South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut?
Yes, I have.
Okay, you have seen that one?
Yeah.
That one I always like just because of how they...
It's a good musical.
Even like the message and everything behind it, how they're able to like have that and still have the point driven across of saying fuck how many times in a film, Yeah. Still have that point across. Have you seen Team America?
Nope.
That one I really like. Some of the humor is kind of off in it. like some of it doesn't connect. I like the music in it and everything. Yeah. But the main thing I really enjoy about that film is that it was all done.
Fuck yeah.
Is that it was all done using the marionette puppets.
Oh yeah.
And it's still really good. And you really get some good facial expressions.
Yeah.
Using these marionette puppets. And it has one of my favorite ending monologues ever. About dicks, pussies, and assholes.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think you showed me that.
It's just a really good ending monologue to kind of come out of nowhere. Yeah. It's really good. Those are my 4 films.
You need one more.
I can't think.
You're contractually obligated.
I'm contractually obligated?
Yes.
Have you seen Thor Ragnarok? Ooh.
I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok.
Or no, the other one I'd have to say would be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hey, guess
it really I know you already said that, but it is really good on its humor and everything. Yeah. And since for that type of Marvel movie, it's really going for the humor. Mm-hmm. Because that's kind of the point of it. And that's where it feels natural in that setting because it's going for those humor.
We were talking about Thor Ragnarok again.
No,
and I was like, wait, that doesn't sound like the right description.
No, for Guardians of the Galaxy, all the humor that is like, oh, this is supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah.
And it's good that way,
Yeah, instead of them being kind of like,
it's supposed to be an action, so we're gonna throw in comedy, and it's like, stop it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's now time for we're going to be trying a new segment here. We're going to be doing, it's called the Thing of the Week.
Thing of the Week.
Now, we're each going to, now for this, shut up. No, for this, we're each going to be introducing our own, kind of, segment or something of the week that we're each, just whatever we found interesting that week or whatever. It could be anything. To me this week, I'm doing a board game. Is Pandemic Legacy. This is going to be what I recommend too. Pandemic Legacy Season 2. Coming off the success of the first Pandemic Legacy. It was Season 1. The Legacy games where they're you constantly change them in that. Mm-hmm. You're changing them in and out. And as you play the game, you're putting stickers, drawing lines on the board. What's really interesting about, it says Season 2. In the first Pandemic Legacy, there's this huge outbreak around the world and you're going through this whole story trying to fix it. Cities are falling, the board's changing and everything. New elements are introduced. This one takes place 71 years after. Yeah. And it's like the whole world has been destroyed pretty much.
Damn it.
And it's like humanity's on these floating islands, and the board starts with only like a little bit of the world uncovered in like these cities that have stayed connected. Yeah. And instead of trying to treat these diseases, you're sitting here trying to like supply all the cities that are still left, and it continues on the story from there. And spoiler for the first month, but right away, like the only part of the map's uncovered. But then right away, you like put together another part of North America, and the way you change the board is really interesting. You know, because instead of it being predetermined lines, you actually have to draw your own connections to the places on the board. So you're determining your own paths to get around these cities. And like the more you introduce, the more supplies have to go to each city with your limited supplies. And you know, you're just establishing the world again. You're trying to rebuild it. You're establishing all these lines and that. And that's just the first month. In a legacy game like that, you know, each month you play like 2 games in each month, and then a new box or new something gets uncovered, new pieces, new cards. Yeah. So everything changes as you progress. So you're going to be permanently changing the board, doing this, permanent changes and everything. And it's actually, if you take a look at the game, it's got a really cool, like they introduced like their own art style to it, like a lot of cool art in that to it, and like a whole story to it. They like really outdid themselves with this game. I like art. So that's my recommendation. I really would recommend you go out and buy it. It's a co-op game, and it's a really good one.
It's $300.
It's not.
$370.
It is not.
$412.
It is not.
8.
Actually, it might be. Because if it sells well, because that was the problem with the first one, is not many people could get their hands on it because it became so popular and everybody loved it that they're like, oh shoot, this sounds a little better than expected. We gotta do something about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing
of the week. Call the police. just like a really overplayed sound effect string, like the fucking radio things. They're just pressing buttons like randomly.
It's like somebody just like slammed their hand on the keyboard. And
they all play at once.
And the sound effects won't stop until each one is played out. So
and
now
there's one that's like a 12-minute button, but you hit it by accident.
So it got slammed, and they just can't do anything about it, and they're sitting there just like...
just waiting. It's like, God damn it, we made a mistake. Alright, my thing of the week. Blah, 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 blah. Magic Circle of Guru. This is an anime.
Shocking, right?
I was trying to think of something, and that's the one thing I feel like people need to hear about. There's a lot of, like, from what I'm understanding, this is not a very big show, from what I've heard at least. Like, it's really good. It's very fun.
What's it about then, I guess?
So, it's like a bit of a satire on the typical
like cliche type of thing.
JRPG sort of fantasy world. Where this guy, I can't remember his fucking name, he's always called Hero in the show. He's like 10 or whatever, and his parents are like, alright, so the bad, like, Demon King is waking up, so we're gonna slingshot you out, because I couldn't do it when I was younger, because he just didn't show up in time. I'm upset about this. Like, his dad's just, like, living vicariously through his son, and they literally slingshot him off, and he lands in the window of this girl. And this girl is studying this magic type called Guru, where you draw in the ground, and then it makes a thing happen. And it's basically just a random sort of thing. And she's like, I'm not very good at it, but you're the person that's supposed to be here, so let's go. And then they go out, and they just have adventures, and it's fun.
That actually sounds kind of... I might think
the opening is like, just like, oh my fucking god, I made the right choice. This is very cute. And they just recently changed the opening and endings. I like the ending a lot in terms of visually. I really like it. It's very good. And the new opening is like, it's okay.
It's always weird to me when they introduce a new opening or something. It's like, man, I was just getting attached to the old one.
No,
it's like,
but this one I was like waiting for it. Like we were on like episode 12, which is usually when they switch it over to like an episode 13, because halfway through the first core is already done. So now it's on to the second core.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't, and they added like sound on like episode 10. So I was like, oh shit, are they changing early? Because usually when they like, this is the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure rule, which is they add the sound effects version before they make the second one, or they have the second one out. It's like, oh shit, here we go. Episode 11 comes, same one. Episode 12, same. 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm like, this is taking a while. This has 24 episodes. And then 17, I'm like, yeah, here we go. But I love it. It's just very fun and cute. And
yeah, I would probably check that out.
It's a fun little show, and it's animated really fun because the characters are all simple, because it's based off a really old, like, 1977 show, so all the character styles is simple. It's really fluid sometimes, and I really like it.
That sounds interesting. And
it's really funny. Like, there's a lot of really good stuff. I like it. It's very fun.
That was the thing of the week.
Thing of the week. Wahoo! Yippee! Bum bum boom boom. Nuclear explosion.
I'd like to have a sound effect where it's a nuclear explosion, like an actual, and then just followed by the monotone.
Nuclear explosion.
We need to make that a thing.
It's good.
It's good.
All right. So, cut.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, thanks for joining us on our Bestest podcast. As always, Episode feedback 5, is appreciated.
Boys.
Please like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to improve every week.
The character poll is on Twitter, so you can vote for your favorite character.
Oh, yeah, we have a Twitter.
Yeah, we're going to post a funny on there, because Brian has a funny.
I made a funny. I was bored during auditions.
Sick comedy, so we're going to plop it up there for all you hecka good Twitter. Okay, by the way, there's this guy on Twitter that followed us, and he has, like fucking 3 million followers. I don't know how that happened. He's just a dude. He's some, like social media master or some shit. So I'm guessing it's a gimmick.
Yeah, probably.
It's like he just likes random people and it's like, haha, now that you've seen me, and go, whoa, this guy has a lot of followers. Then you go and then you just do the thing, and now you pay for my plan. Haha, it's like, bitch. Got it.
Yeah. Well,
but
anyway,
if you actually watch our content, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Well, anyway, thanks for our show. Anything's appreciated. Link us
Patreon
anywhere. That way we know you watched the whole thing. Please.
Yeah. Everyone type meme in the chat.
And then create a Patreon for us, and then take donations
and then use your
for
own
us.
Credit card, so you get the money.
Yeah, so you get the money. Then we're sitting there like, wait a second.
This was a bad request.
And then
Why did we do that?
And then we try and talk you
don't
you
even
into,
need the money that much.
And then we try and talk you out of your Patreon, but you're like, pay us.
And then it turns out that it was actually Brian the whole time, and he just wants to be part of the podcast. And we're like, okay, Brian, we can do that. It's not that big of a deal. Why didn't you just ask kindly when you come over from college, you can join us? And then he's like, well, I already started the Patreon. There's nothing I can do now. And that's it.
That's thanks for watching.
Go away.
No, stay with us.
Yeah,
watch our
stay
stuff.
with us, but you can go away now because it's done.
Yeah, go away till next week.
Probably next week. I think it's fine.
I was gonna say,
we're
we're
fine.
usually fine. See ya.
Bye.